Welcome back to Sagas of Sundry Goblin Mode. I am your Dungeon Master, Amy Vorpal, and with me as always is our Terror Squad made up of...
Hi, I'm Dan Casey. I'm a proud member of the Terror Squad. I play Phibbs, a skeleton who dabbles in wizardry.
And I am Danielle Radford, another member of the Terror Squad, and I play Busy, who is a bard.
Hey, I'm Jason Wynn, card-carrying member of the Terror Squad. I play Tippy, a goblin artificer with, you guessed it, a gun.
Ooh, terrifying. And with that, it is just about time to part the veil of reality.
Ooh.
And we are no longer humans, souls in meat sacks, well-fed, all surrounded by each other in loving company. No. We are falling. Yes. So what you're experiencing is being surrounded by almost like a hug of pure magic energy that is transporting you from one area of the material plane to another area of the material plane. You're not planes jumping, not yet. But what you are experiencing is this feeling of weightlessness, almost nothingness. The lights and the colors and shades do go by you. If you close your eyes, you would feel like you're not going anywhere, but when you open your eyes, you get the feeling, because the colors are slowly moving past, that you are sinking down, almost like watching an elevator. So it's as if you're underwater, but you're not wet. You don't feel the sensation of being wet. You can breathe, you can talk to each other. Oh no.
Actually, this is actually pretty nice, but I'm not wet.
Does anybody else feel like they're either falling or sinking?
Kind of both. It feels like a warm hug, but also I should be wet right now.
I should be wet, but I'm not wet.
I'm almost too dry.
You're always wet. You're wet all the time.
Oh my God, it's almost like we're planes jumping, but we're not.
There's gotta be something different.
I really hate all of you. We are going to an underwater world, and this cannot be a thing.
Wait, we're describing how we feel.
Sorry, I meant to say glub glub.
Okay, but for now, time is also indeterminate, but I will let you take basically one turn. An action, cast a spell, create something.
Create something. You said create something.
I sure did. And I think it's worth noting that at this time, while you are being surrounded by all of this magic, you three all level up, and you are now...
Hey! Let's go.
You are now level 3. You've learned some new skills. You've gained some things. I think the biggest change for all of you is Busy.
So Busy, having seen what is the heist of the century and having been a part of the heist of the century and seeing multiple different kinds of love while being embraced by pirates, some platonic, some not, imbued with a sense of like, gosh, that's cool. And loving how easily and how fun it was to lie as she was pretending to be Kaya. Busy is now multi-classing. I am now a bard rogue.
Yes.
I know what that means. More bone stuff.
And you're level 3, so 2 bard, 1 rogue.
Yep, 2 bard, 1 rogue.
Love it.
So moved up with my bard stuff. Obviously, we made jokes about this last time, that Busy's charm stats and everything way too low because she was still not quite into the world, but now she's grown, she's learning, she can sit backwards on a chair like Dangerous Minds. And so that's just immediate charm stat base, just right up there.
Perfect. What does Phibbs look like?
Phibbs starts spinning around with his staff before him, and it's almost like this magical girl transformation, like Sailor Moon style. But when he stops spinning and like strikes a pose, he pretty much looks the same, but he just feels a little bit more confident. And you see these little sparks dancing across his fingers as he feels this newfound magical energy pulsing through his bones.
Perfect. Awesome. More wizard. And finally, we come to Tippy.
So Tippy is going to double down on his artificing abilities. and his abilities to create things. As he falls and in this weightlessness, he starts to black out from A, being scared, and B, being pushed and falling.
And C, being not wet.
and not being wet. It's too
Waking
much
up and
for him.
seeing us screaming.
Yeah. So as he passes out and comes to, he has this like sort of vision, and in his vision, his gun talks to him. He goes,
What's that? You want to live? You want to be alive? You're alive? Okay, I'll do it.
and Tippy, sort of in a trance, starts carving this sort of bigger version of his gun,
Let's
but
go.
out of wood. But something weird starts to happen. It starts to come alive, and it starts to spurt little legs, and it has two googly eyes on the side,
Oh my
almost
God.
like the happy face that he scrawled onto the gun.
Yes.
And now he has an eldritch cannon following him around.
Excuse me?
Yes, he has
Incredible.
an alive gun that's gonna follow him around.
And a live gun.
And a live gun.
Little legs.
Little legs.
Can I be its best friend?
Of course you can.
Hell
I
yeah.
was gonna say, how does Busy react to this? Because you're all able to witness each other's transformation.
Oh my god, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god, that's so cool. Can you make me one?
I think I can only make one, and I don't know. I think it's alive. It's alive.
Does it have a name?
His name is Gun Tippy.
Oh, hell no, Tippy!
Gun Tippy lives.
So you have Robo Tippy.
Robo Tippy.
And Gun
And Gun
Tippy.
Tippy.
And also his known alias, Rippy.
Yes, and Rippy, my alter ego.
It's just Red Tippy.
Just Red Tippy.
Actually, so that's your action. That's your turn.
Yes.
You've created this little guy. Anything you all would like to do? It's very clear that you will be shot out into a watery location.
Well, Tippy's wearing a diving suit already, right?
Yes.
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 Which just makes everything he's doing with his level of artificer ability even more impressive, considering he's wearing a giant diving suit.
Yeah, some sort of like mitten hands, everything right now.
Well, you're not doing this alone. In fact, Loof is assisting you because she is a little scared about going underwater, and she
All right.
agrees to assist you in return to enter the diving suit.
yes,
with
Loof
you.
is in the diving suit with
Okay.
me.
I
Loof
forgot
is-
that spiders need to breathe.
Yeah. I would
right.
imagine Loof is telling me where to,
Sorry.
Yes,
put
yes.
things.
She's helping out if you'll allow it. She wants to see what's going on, so she'll be up in
Yes.
your glass case and maybe covering one eye like an eye patch.
Tippy will allow it.
Okay, perfect.
Be cool about this.
Busy is using her great sword, which she like never uses, but she's using it much like an old dude would whittle something, and she's basically just like turning her finger. She's giving herself a manicure, giving herself a little mani, and making the finger points on each of her fingers incredibly sharp.
Oh, damn.
Like super sharp, like talon sharp,
okay.
like
Okay.
saber tooth
Oh,
sharp.
man. Horrifying skeleton manicure. That's awesome.
Okay, perfect. What about Fibs?
And Fibs is just having a blast, feeling weightless yet dry. As he's falling, Fibs remembers that Loof is inside of Tippy's helmet, and he casts Minor Illusion to make a little version of himself to go wave at Loof in front of the helmet.
Oh my gosh.
Two unkies all at once. This is the best.
Just keep it calm in here, okay, Loof?
No, I'm so
Got
excited.
a lot of room, Loof.
I'm gonna web all over the place.
No, Loof, do not web. Don't web in here.
Well, you can't stop me.
Loof, please don't web.
What would you do to stop me?
I'll let you keep calling me Unky. How about that? I'm cool with Unky.
I was just going to do that regardless.
Loof, I'll make you a new thing. I made you your legs.
Oh, I did like my legs.
Yes, what would you like me to make? I'll try to
Well, I
make
won't be this size forever.
it. Okay.
I would like my own web gun.
A spider with a gun!
Spider web gun.
My nightmare.
I want it to be double as effective when I get old enough to really do some terror with my web.
That is the most genius thing you've ever said to me, Loof. Have you considered maybe a career in artificing too?
Oh no, that I would hire people like you to do it.
I got it. I'll make it.
I would delegate, for I will be the most terrifying beast known to the entire world.
The second most terrifying, because you are still working with the terror squad. We're the most terrifying. Just the pecking order of things, Luffy. It doesn't matter. You're
Yes,
a kid.
we don't need to get into who's the superlative at this moment, but just wait until my final form. Have you seen my mother?
I've seen a lot of your kind, and
Well,
you're...
Unky Fibs
You are
knows
terrifying.
my mother.
Oh, yeah.
When I grow up to be like her, it's over for you bitches.
Now, when you say you bitches, am I included in the bitches?
Are we bitches?
No, just
Are
the
we
general,
bitches?
you know, it's just over for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
It's
general.
over for other bitches.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Growing up so well.
I'm really proud of you, Loof. Keep up the good work.
Each one teach one, am I right?
You know what? You should let off a web to celebrate.
No, Luffy, don't do it. Luffy, don't do it.
She webs. It's a soft web.
Okay.
No real damage.
Okay.
You're going to be uncomfortable for
Okay,
a while.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're really sticky in your suit. But as you are falling, you feel more corporeal, like you feel your physical form taking shape. It's less of a fall and more of a slide. The colors speed up. It's like you're moving faster. You actually feel resistance as you're moving faster. And then you blink and all of a sudden you just find yourself in this chamber. The way this chamber looks, there's no door. It's a circular chamber 15 feet in diameter, all made of stone, bluish stone, and it is lit, but you can't tell where the source of the light is. There are 6 pillars equidistant around the circumference of the room, and in the middle is one pillar that holds a bowl of stone square tiles. On the walls, there are 2 friezes, but they're identical, and they're carved to look exactly like this tapestry behind you. And you notice for the first time, you've seen hints and themes of this throughout your entire life, working in Unzug's lair, but also outside in the world of Sundaros. And this does paint the picture of what the searing was. Is there anything of note that you would like to just notice about this tapestry?
Who are these people? I want to know who the soldiers are.
You notice that there are soldiers, plenty of them, and what else do you notice? I'm not going to tell you anything. I just want to know what you notice.
I know. What do I see with my goblin eyes? I see apples. There's like a lot of fruit on that tree.
Okay, fruit.
That looks really delicious.
Well, anyone else?
That's it.
Yeah, I see, these 2 huge Mr. Mouth over here with the big old teeth. Then obviously the huge radiant. I'm trying to figure out if that's a sun or what the light source for that is, with all of like the fire and everything bursting out of the kind of spires around it.
Okay.
Phibbs is really drawn to what appears to be a group of cultists in the bottom right. That kind of looks like that scythe group that he was talking about. They're worshipping something, looking up with great reverence towards this force of destruction in the middle, which appears to be the source of the searing. And it looks like on the bottom left, it might be, I don't know if those are the Sundari or maybe some of their forces, but it feels like light versus dark from left to right.
The other thing that I just want to point out is that there is one large humanoid and one large beastie fiendy guy, and there are 5 humanoids below them and 5 humanoids below the fiend. Those are the friezes that surround the walls of this room.
I want to see if Tippy, upon closer inspection, notices that 5 human or wizards in the bottom left are holding staves. Do any of them look like Unzug's staff?
Yes. Yes, one of them does. And upon closer inspection, you also notice that the renderings of these humanoids, they're giving humanoid. They may or may not be human, right? So even though with beards, and they all look the same height, they may or may not just be all men, and they may not all be human.
I mean, honestly, I've never met Unzug. I've only heard of him. I mean, Busy, you would know more, but the bottom left one, I think he has Unzug's staff, and could that be Unzug?
I've only heard tales of what Unzug looks like, and they vary from kind of person to person. Sometimes you hear about how he's tall with big, beautiful, floating orb eyes and just a menacing presence you can't escape. And then sometimes people talk about him being just all cloaked, or now that I think about it, I don't know that I've ever heard exactly two people describe Unzug the same. That's why I've
Yeah.
always been so excited to see him in person.
I'll admit, when I cast Disguise Self on myself to pretend to be Unzug way back in episode 1, I took a real shot in the dark as to what he actually looks like. I've heard of like these courtroom sketch artists in human settlements. I imagine it was kind of like that. But who knows? I mean, the staff looks certainly like something he would wield. Do we notice as well any of the other 5 artifacts of the Sundari champions?
Very good. You do notice that the 5 below on the bottom left are probably the Sundari champions, and they are holding various artifacts.
Like the circlet, or maybe the chalice of Kirkin, or the staff of Rilbert?
Ooh, you're making me so happy. Yes. So a human is holding the staff of Rilbert. A male elf is holding the chalice. A dwarf female is wearing the circlet. You also see a human sporting a ring, and one of them is an Aarakocra.
A Boyd person?
A real bird person.
Yeah, sorry. There is a
And-
distinction.
I'm not a bird person, I'm a werebird.
And I mean, this room, it looks like there's nothing really going on in it except those 6 pillars and the bowl of square tiles in the middle, and the friezes.
I want to look at the bowl of square tiles. So Busy goes over there and starts examining it. What do I see inside?
Actually, maybe there's a couple on the floor as well. You see that these square tiles have carvings on them, insignias, little signs that are of little images. They just vary: a spider web, a rainbow, a hammer, a horseshoe.
Okay, so this isn't like when you go to your mom's house, she's got that bowl full of balls or whatever. Like, these are actual things that do something.
Potpourri?
Yeah, there's no just potpourri. No. So looking through I'm gonna reach in and start like really picking up the tiles and looking at them and examining them. As Busy takes the tiles out, she starts kind of arranging them on the flat table so she can take a look at all of the images and see if you put them together a certain way, would it form a fuller image, is what she's first trying to take a look at.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, nat 20, 21.
Let's go.
Wow.
They do look like they would fit into a slot on the top of each of the 6 pillars on the...
How tall are these pillars?
They are about 3.5 feet tall.
Oh, easy peasy.
Okay.
Yeah, within reach.
Yeah, and so the tops of them have a little inlay where a square tile might fit.
Seems like we gotta match these to the top of the pillars.
Yeah, so
perhaps.
everybody take a tile and let's see if we put that in, and if nothing else, something cool is probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right? If something cool doesn't happen, I'm gonna be so mad, you guys.
I'm gonna be really disappointed.
I'm gonna be really disappointed.
Okay, well, here, I'll take a tile.
Let's look at what's on the specific pillar before we start
Yeah.
putting them willy-nilly and before. Since we came from a dungeon that was full of deadly death traps, I just worry that if we put them in incorrectly,
Right.
Tippy's going to die.
Well, and Tippy, you're like a master of traps or whatever. Is there anything that you...
I don't know. This room looks so unfamiliar to me, and I've really only built traps in Unzug's lair, and this looks nothing like Unzug's lair.
Would I feel or know, like, can I roll perception to see if there are any traps? Like,
Yes, and you would be looking for traps, so this is an
traps.
investigation.
Investigation, okay. 14?
Yeah, you look around, you look at the friezes on the walls and the pillars themselves. You notice no traps. There are 2 things you do notice, which is the floor is starting to get about an inch of water at the bottom where you're standing. Nothing's moving yet, but the other thing you notice is that each of the pillars has a name written on it. I'm gonna give you these pieces of paper just so you have them.
There are names on the pillars.
There are names on the pillars.
Oh.
And Dan, will you read the first 2?
The names on each of the pillars are Cinna, the sovereign of grace, and Ta, the sovereign of valor.
Next we have Ordimf, the sovereign of healing, and Sadif, the sovereign of nature.
Then we have Ariadne, the sovereign of wisdom, and then we have Euthys, wanderer's fortune.
All right. So we also have here a giant list of all of the tiles.
There's so
in
many
here.
tiles.
Yes, you have 36 tiles, each with a
36
different
tiles?
image on them.
Tippy starts, even though he's wearing like a wetsuit, he starts rubbing his temples on the outside of the diving helmet.
being like, there's so many tiles. There's so many tiles. Think.
Well, all of these have to coordinate with something, right? Like we've got here, Zadif, Sovereign of Nature. We've got like a leaf. We've got some nature stuff. Maybe that coordinates with that?
Ordemph is the Sovereign of Healing, and we have the Chalice, which makes healing potions. Is there a Chalice on here? Is there?
Doesn't look like it.
Oh, man.
But I do think you're onto something, Busy. I believe they're the Sundari, so I think we should probably try to match them.
Well, aren't they on the frieze? Can we go and look and see if, are they the Sundari? Or?
I believe so. If my notes have not betrayed me, I believe they're the Sundari.
Well, let's take a look. So I think we all go back over to the frieze and try to match up what we can see on the frieze to the items.
Awesome. Everyone roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey, another nat 20. So it's
Hell yeah.
21.
Oh my
Hey.
She's killing it.
I got a 23.
Hey! Okay.
I got a nat 20 as well.
Let's go.
It's all downhill from here.
Okay.
We used them all.
Okay, well, as you're examining the friezes, they do cover the whole room, so in doing that, you're also examining the pillars themselves, and you notice that even though the friezes, the carving is so minute, it's actually really difficult to tell what the insignias are. The items are easily recognizable, but as you're examining the pillars, you notice that on each one of the pillars is a small riddle that is carved on the back.
I go and read the riddles.
The first one is Arsena, Sovereign of Grace, and the riddle says, "My hat can harm you, whether dancing or still. My body for structure, a source for your seal."
Okay. A hat that could harm you, whether dancing or still. Hat.
Okay, while you're thinking, I'm gonna read.
Phibbs is champing at the bit.
Phibbs wants to answer. Okay, well, let's see if. Do you want to try to solve it yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna solve
I'll
it
read
myself.
I'll read the next one. Dan, this one's for you. This is under Ta, Sovereign of Valor.
Okay.
You found me in nature and then wove me round, embracing a victor, a coveted crown.
To me, that sounds like a spider web.
Okay? What do you do?
I find the spiderweb token and I place it on the top of the pillar.
Okay, you place it on the top of Ta, and go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
I hope that's a good thing. That is a unnatural 20.
Ooh. Okay, you do save. You take 2 points of piercing damage.
Ow. It's not a spiderweb.
What wasn't the spider web? What was that for?
Ta.
Okay, ta, not spider web.
And the water in the room starts filling up very quickly now. You can actually see spouts, about 10 spouts around the edge of the circle as the water starts filling.
Looks like I was onto something about there being traps.
I looked for traps and I didn't see some. I gotta focus on my trap
Okay, this
discovery
one's
skills.
for you, Danielle, and then we can go around and have you guess again for these 3. This is for Ordemph, Sovereign of Healing. Made of many dead, I help sail and swoop, a crucial feature for those with a view.
I'm gonna grab the telescope.
Okay?
So I will take the telescope and Busy will put that on top of that pillar.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Damn it. That is 16.
A 16, you do save. You take 1 point of piercing damage.
Okay.
The water is continuing to
So
fill.
what wasn't that again? Give me that one more time.
It wasn't a telescope.
It wasn't a telescope for who?
Ordnance.
For not telescope.
We're back to you, Jason. Do you want a second riddle, or do you want to solve this
I
one?
want to solve the first one.
Okay.
Okay. My hat can harm you, whether dancing or still. My body for structure, source for your seal. I don't know.
Okay.
Phibbs, you were like, oh, I know.
I think it's a crown.
I think it's a crown too.
I
had that idea first.
That's a hat that would hurt you.
Right,
And also the seal, it provides the source for the royal seal.
Oh, that's what I was thinking the whole time. You just validated my theory. I take the crown and I put it in the pedestal.
Okay, roll a dexterity save.
Damn it. 14?
Maybe I'm more of a crossword puzzle guy.
14 saves you take 1 point of piercing damage.
What hurts me? What's the thing that pierces?
So you actually do feel that darts are shooting out from the sides of the wall, not specifically the pillar, but the wall targeted right at you. So the darts that pierce you and do damage to you actually are able to pierce through your armor, despite being a diving suit. That might cause some issues later on as the water fills up.
I immediately look at Robo-Tippy. I'm like, Robo-Tippy, you know what to do. And Robo-Tippy casts mending on my suit, so I can do other things while my suit's being fixed.
Shakes little patches of fabric.
Yeah.
And remember, you do have Loof
And Loof,
inside.
can you web the
I'm
inside,
sorry.
please, Loof, where the hole is?
Okay, she's plugging up holes too. Very cute. Okay, do you want
You
to
said it
go?
was your idea.
I know, I was lying!
Do you want to go around one more time, or do you want the other 3 riddles?
Oh, should we solve these or should we read the other ones?
Let's try the next one.
The next one's great. Okay.
Because maybe one of them will be like easier and we can do process of elimination.
Just to make sure, it looks like only one tile would fit in
Only
on the
one
top.
tile.
Okay.
Only one tile. Okay, we're gonna do the next 3.
I'm gonna waddle over to the other
Tippy,
column.
yes.
What's this say?
Sodif, sovereign of nature.
Sodif.
Green to gold of trees, but not wood. Falling when old, gone, not for good.
I don't know why I'm reading so fast. I think I gotta read a
perfect.
little bit slower.
Sorry.
One more time.
Okay. Green to gold
Okay, green to
of
gold.
trees, but not wood.
But not wood.
Falling when old, gone, not for good.
Not for good. Oh, it's an acorn. It's got to be an acorn. Acorns go from green to gold. When they start, they're ripe and they're green and they turn gold. And when they fall, they're gone, but not for good because they become a tree.
Interesting.
I think it's an acorn. And I grab the acorn and I put it in the.
Roll a dexterity saving.
Damn it!
we were thinking leaf when you read that
Oh
aloud.
no! I didn't even see leaf on this.
It's actually on there twice. That's why I thought about it so much.
Wait!
I rolled a dex save.
I rolled a 2.
That's 6.
You take 4 points of piercing
Rocketed
damage.
back and pinned to the wall.
Okay.
You didn't save. Sorry. Okay.
I swore to God it was an acorn.
Tim sees Tippy just get shot up full of needles. He's like,
Not
oh,
an
that
acorn."
looks painful. Well, since you definitely read that aloud, I think it might have been a leaf. So he picks up the leaf token and puts that on the top of Sodif, Sovereign of Nature.
As you do, you do put the leaf in, and the pillar itself sinks down, not very much, just a foot, but you do get the sense that you got it right.
Leaf. That makes sense. Leaf.
I loved your reasoning for acorn, though.
Yeah, it was really good reasoning.
Okay, Fibs, you read the next one. This is Ariadne, Sovereign of Wisdom, tiny and brave, 8 arms battle the night, even in shade you can count on my light.
Ooh.
Go on.
I think it's the stay-pointed star.
That's what I was thinking as
Okay,
well.
okay.
Since I placed this last one, would you like to place this one?
No, you place.
You sure?
Okay.
No, you place.
You don't want to feel the sting of victory?
You don't want to feel the
No.
ecstatic joy of getting a puzzle correct
No,
before your friends?
I think you should do it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Fibs is gonna take Tippy's advice and put the 8-pointed star on top of Ariadne.
And that is correct, as you do feel the satisfying crunch of the stone against stone as it sinks down about a foot
go.
into the ground.
Let's go.
The water's still filling. It's almost at your knees at this point. Busy. You read Euthis's. Euthis, Wanderer's Fortune. I'm humble, small and low, but indeed I swear to grow. A cap I wear upon my head, but under earth is where I spread.
This has got to be leaf. Wait, we did that
This has
one.
got to be 8. Well, there is a second leaf, so maybe we could try that.
That's why
but-
there's 2 leaves.
Or we could try
Or we could-
acorn.
It's an acorn. You got a little hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure you don't want to
you
tip
can
it?
do-
You don't want to just put it? Okay.
Yeah.
So Busy, who is fully ready to feel the joy of being right, puts it inside the top of the pillar.
Okay, once again, you feel the satisfying stone-on-stone
Are we
friction as
better
it
than
sinks
everyone else?
into the ground.
Better than other people?
You still, however, have 3 unsolved, and they're the ones from the beginning. You have Arsina and Ta and Ordenf.
All right, so Arsena is like hat, dancing still, body structure, something seal.
A source for your seal.
A source for your seal.
My hat can harm you, whether dancing or still. My body for structure, a source for your seal.
Why are hats harmful? That just sounds mean.
What would I put on my head as a hat?
A laurel wreath, perhaps?
Maybe a wreath, but why would
If
it
you were
harm me?
winning an award at a film festival, or you were some kind of
Film festival.
Do you want me to read the other riddles? Or go?
Yes.
Okay. So Ta is sovereign of valor. You found me in nature and then wove me round, embracing a victor, a coveted crown.
Oh, maybe that's a
the
laurel wreath.
That's the one. Yeah, let's do that one. You should do it. You should put the thing in.
All right, I will put the laurel wreath atop Ta, sovereign of valor.
Perfect. You do that, and it sinks down once more. Your victory complete on that one. You have 2 last pillars left. This is Erndker, sovereign of healing. Made of many dead, I help sail and swoop. A crucial feature for those with a view.
Could that be a map?
I was gonna say a map.
I think that's a map.
A lot of people had to die to get this information.
A lot of people have died to get that. Plus, it could give you like the view, and it's also for
Yeah.
whether you're flying or whether you're on the sea.
Exactly.
Tippy, do you want to?
Or, wait.
I'm gonna work on mine. I haven't solved mine yet, so maybe you can put yours in. Hat.
Danielle, you do remember, I mean, you got it right, that Erndker, the sovereign of healing, is the Sundara associated with the chalice, and you have the chalice.
Okay, so this is gonna sound wild. What if I like take out the chalice and like rub it around?
Yeah, if you rub it around, roll a dexterity saving throw. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, thank God for that good dex. So that is a 13.
Yeah, that saves, and you're going to take 1 point of piercing damage as a dart shoots out to greet you. And what you do notice, though, is there is an insignia on the chalice itself.
What's the insignia?
Wings, 2 outstretched wings.
Oh, perfect. So then, hey, so it's the 2 outstretched wings.
For which one?
It looks like that is going to be for the
Erndker.
Erndker.
Okay, let's try it.
Great.
Busy.
Okay, and so you sure? Okay. Busy
you do it.
puts that into the top of the.
And you are successful. As you do that, you remember that feathers, like hair, are dead.
Oh, that's right.
It's so sad.
So there's only one left, Arsina.
Arsina, sovereign of grace. Here's what I'm thinking. My hat can harm you whether dancing or still. Which one of these bad boys can dance?
And as you're still thinking of this final solution, the water is getting higher and higher. It is now waist high. There's still plenty of room in the room, but you get the sense that it's just going to fill up.
Oh no. Okay, so we're going with
Candle.
candle.
It's probably a candle. My hat, little flame. Whether
Flame.
dancing or still, it can harm you.
the
Sometimes
wax
flames
seal.
dance. A wax steel, body for structure. It's a candle.
It's a candle. I had that thought the whole time. Honestly, I had that thought first, but then I didn't want to say it out loud because I didn't want to be too cocky.
You know
so
what? You should do this last.
You should put that one in.
That.
We're just letting the water rise up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the water
I'll do it.
your chest.
I'll do it. Robo Tippy, put it in. And I have Robo Tippy grab.
He puts the candle in, and ka-chunk, 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 as the pillar just sinks into the ground. As these stones are all sinking into the ground, a seal breaks forth from the wall as a stone moves forward and then to the side. And Busy, this actually triggers a flashback.
I was waiting for it.
Busy, you are being reprimanded by your superior.
I hate that in any life.
This is a dwarf. You can see a little more clearly in this flashback. Something about a man who you've been chasing as part of your job. It's taken you so long. You attempt to explain yourself, but your station in this group is being highly questioned. You've been one of the leaders, one of the superiors, someone to look up to, a prodigy, really. This is the only life you know, but part of you knows they are right to accuse you of not trying hard enough, being unsuccessful. Your superior reaches out with a dagger to under your chin, cuts off one of your braids that grows from your chin, leaving you with only 3 left. It is a huge mark of scorn. And you are left questioning, does something in you want this person you've been chasing, this male, to actually stay alive, despite what it might mean for your livelihood and your job? And while you are questioning that, you're back into this.
Busy.
You okay?
Are you good?
Remember, and the seal has separated, the water is rushing all the way in. This is salt water, your pack's metal, everything is getting ambushed by water as you're getting buried.
We gotta get out of here.
All right, get out of here.
Do we see an exit anywhere? Or?
So the seal is circular, it moves forward and rolls to the side, and that is where you can exit.
Okay.
It leads through a stone tunnel, but at the end of it, it does seem to come out into a bigger chamber, a room.
Phibbs is gonna try and help usher Busy out of the room towards that exit.
Okay, you notice that there is, in this water, all of you are casters. You all channel the weave, and you just feel inundated with magic. Like there's just magic at your fingertips.
Oh, it smells like magic in here.
It
He
does.
did cast Mending.
Oh yeah, you're right. But it's overwhelming. It's like I feel it on my fingertips.
At the very end of the tunnel, you actually see a huge bottom feeder catfish face, bigger, like the head is as big as you all, and it swims into your purview, and it looks like it rears back and it kind of sneezes or spits all the way down the hall at you.
Ew.
It all lands on top of you. This kind of gooey, grayish green snot-like stuff. Most of it seems to be targeted around your face area, and you can tell pretty immediately that, well, you guys can't, actually none of you can tell because you got a diving suit on, huh?
Yeah, I finger squeegee my diving suit.
This just looks like an inconvenience, to be honest.
Gross.
Will
What
you,
is this?
Will, anyone who touches it, will you roll an investigation or a nature check? Or an arcana check? Nature or arcana?
Can I roll even though I'm in the diving suit or
Yes,
no?
yes,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
It's a 24 Arcana.
Okay.
Because I got an 8.
Okay.
Oh, bad.
This is almost a magical substance from a magical creature. You can tell that if you just let it go on your face, if you weren't a skeleton and you needed to breathe underwater, this would help you breathe underwater. It just also happens to be getting everywhere else.
Hey, this is actually a beneficial catfish goo. If you smear it on your face, it looks like it might help you breathe, like plug
This
up
is
your
good
holes. This is good goo.
Okay.
That good goo.
What?
Let's get goo. Take your suit off. We'll rub the goo all over you.
No, keep the suit on. Let's...
Suit off or
on? I want to pull out a little vial from my pack and just scoop some of the goo in there.
Okay.
For later.
How much
in
goo
case
do we
something
need?
happens.
Yeah. How much goo do we need for like square foot of Tippy?
How much ghoul we
And what's the
talking about?
value in Dungeon dollars?
So if you wanted, I don't know.
Tippy, what's your square footage if you want to estimate?
Square footage. I'm a
Skin
square foot of
surface
goblin.
area, yes. Surface area of goblin skin.
Yeah,
I don't know. But there's plenty. I mean, this guy obviously naturally generates it, and he swims off. He's off.
Thank you, gross fish.
Bye, goo guy.
Disgusting goofish. Goodbye.
I'll always remember you.
That was
The
weird.
current seems to move away from the room now. The current is pushing you out of the tunnel. And you come to this enormous, large underwater room.
Whoa.
It looks like a huge atrium, a receiving room, where other beings are entering from other tunnels, similar, you think, to the one that you came from. They're being filed to the center of the room, just like you. And as you enter this room, you realize that your pathway is curtailed by an iron cage that makes an archway, hallway for you to walk down, but that the cage-like nature of it lets you be able to see the rest of the room. The center of the room leans downward, and it does seem as though there are checkpoints, and then people are funneled out across the room in one area.
Are we seeing other people or like other creatures?
Both. The main humanoids that you see are merfolk.
Oh. Okay.
Their bottom half is a fishy tail, and the top half is.
Also fishy.
How many more folk do we see?
It seems to be fairly slow. So in the hallways and the gates, you see about maybe 10 others across the atrium, and this is a huge place, so it actually seems like very few. But you also see merfolk wearing makeup, not unlike myself.
Ooh.
That could be barnacles or just the way their skin goes. They're running security with lances and tridents swimming around. There's also other big bottom feeder catfish creatures that make their way around doing security as well. And the beasts at the checkpoint seem to be the catfish creatures as well. The other type of humanoid that you see is not quite a mer creature, but it's almost like a humanoid, an elf, a halfling, a dwarf, a human who just lived down here for too long. And their skin is covered like the hull of a ship that's just underwater, covered in barnacles, has grown things, tentacles, spines, little plankton swimming in and out of their bodies as well. Yeah. And they just seem to belong here, but it does look like maybe they weren't formed here. The merfolk themselves are beautiful and really fierce, terrifying. They don't have any joy around them.
What's going on with these joyless fish people?
They're just all floating around being very serious and very hot.
Yeah, they look hot and serious.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of what hot people do. They don't really smile that much. They're just dour.
Dourness is part of being hot?
I'm attractive and miserable.
Tippy makes a mental note of that. Are they armed?
Anyone outside of the cages, you can definitely tell that they're armed. Also the beasts at the checkpoints, they don't seem to be armed, but they are massive catfish. If they opened their maw, you would fit right in.
And are they armored at all? So they have weapons?
No.
But they're not armored, they're just wearing
They're not armored, no.
fish clothes?
Yeah, like a little hat.
Scales?
Yeah.
Like fish scales?
Yeah.
They've got
Do they have
fish
any
scales.
Scales are close for fish.
Okay.
Yeah, scales.
We've
scales
always
are-
said
What about the barnacle people? They're like,
They do give a semblance of clothing, yeah. They do
Okay.
have little shirts, little pants and stuff, but you can, not little, I mean
little shirts.
They're all wearing hot pants and crop tops.
No. And the merfolk also have clothing made of shells and barnacles and coral. There is another type of being that you see. And you only see a couple of these, and they are in cages across the room from you, making their way to the checkpoints fairly easily. They look like they know where they are, where they're going. They are humanoids. You cannot tell their shape or their size. They both look identical. They're wearing masks that cover their face, made out of a silvery lattice design, really detailed. They have not been blasted with the catfish goo. And they are...
nothing. Go on. Nothing.
Of note, they're wearing crimson robes that are hooded, and the robes themselves are flaring out almost like jellyfish legs. And because of that,
cool.
you cannot tell their shape underneath it or their size.
So where is this like a meeting? Is this like a cafeteria? Where are we?
I feel like we're in some sort of like fish office, like a law firm. Like it feels really official.
I don't know about y'all. I really want whatever this fish meeting is, or like official business.
It's right there.
It's
Of
right
course.
there. Maybe it's like a council meeting.
Yes.
It seems like we're invited.
Well, hold on. We did solve a dangerous puzzle
Yeah.
to get in here.
We earned
We
it.
did get blasted with fish goo, so maybe we are meant to be here, but it seemed like they put a lot of methods in to keep people out.
I think we have to see this fishery through to its bitter end.
Yeah. I want to go see the fish meeting. I want to see fish law.
Okay, should we be sneaky about it, or should we just walk
Let's
in?
act like we belong.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Act like we've been here before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, easy.
Okay,
Easy.
so you two skeletons and a diving suited goblin make your way.
And a gun tippy and a robo
Who,
tippy.
yeah, are they?
They're next to me.
They're next to you. They're maybe riding on top of you. They're. Yeah, you're moving through this cave. What?
No, she was just so excited by the prospect of
Oh, okay.
robots.
That's
No, this
fine.
is an
Swear to
entirely
God.
appropriate reaction.
This is
She was
delightful. I'm
blasted
delighted.
with a jolt of excitement.
Right.
Oh, okay. I have to just say tiny
I'm
robot.
blasted by excitement as well. I'm so excited. I can go. All right, you have to cut that out.
I don't think we do.
It feels very official. That's correct. As you travel through this caged archway, you're kind of directed to move left and right and meander, but you're still heading straight towards the center. There is one of those barnacled creatures swims pretty close to you, just above where the cage is, and whispers to Phibbs,
What are you doing? Turn your cloak inside out.
Turn my cloak inside.
and just swims along.
I guess you went in fish rules, maybe? Maybe it's like fish rules.
I don't
that
want
we
to draw negative attention, so Phibbs pulls off his robes and
Oh, because the logo.
turns it inside out.
They're probably freaked out
Probably
because
something
of
with my sigil.
So as you're walking down or swimming down, that same creature comes up and kind of pauses a little closely to you and says,
Give me that. Give me that magic item. Give me the chalice. Hurry! Hurry! You don't have much time.
Why?
Okay, don't.
and swims off.
Okay. I just got. Was that a question, or was I getting robbed and it just didn't work?
That was a weird mug. Maybe that's a fish mugging. Maybe that's how they do that here.
So they get you hook, line, and sinker.
I mean, pretty smart, because if I was under duress, I would have handed it over.
You are getting a lot closer to what looks like this checkpoint in a big bottom feeder. I mean, this is at length would be kind of a 10-foot large fish guy. You're getting closer and closer. The creature, barnacled and everything, swims by one more time. Last chance.
What does it do?
Last chance.
What happens if I don't?
You're gonna want to give it to me. I'll get it back to you. Quick.
Okay, if you don't, I'm gonna take it back.
Tick tock.
Here's the chalice, but just sign your name here on this clipboard.
No,
that you
absolutely
took it
not.
out.
She grabs it. She
No,
grabs
sign
it.
the clipboard.
Izzy, did you
Just sign the
She
clipboard.
grabs it from you.
Don't give me the chalice back. You need to check it
We were
out.
just talking about getting fish mugged, and then you got fish mugged.
And she just swims back. Do not raise your voice. Don't do it. Chill out.
And swims away.
What? No, I gave her the sign-up
You know,
sheet, and she
times
wouldn't
are changing.
check it out.
You can't just go anywhere without getting fish mugged these days.
So as you approach this fish, he looks at you and says, "What is your reason for being here?"
Guys, I think you guys should do the talking, because I'm in a diving suit and it's very clear that, like, I don't belong here, so I'm gonna pretend like I'm a robot, okay?
A fish just stole my chalice.
We have been mugged.
What is the nature of the chalice you say that was stolen?
It's for drinking.
It's a big cup. I'm thirsty. Glub,
It's a family heirloom.
Our family mug has been mugged.
Describe it.
It's a cup-shaped.
It's got like cup designs on it, but it's just like a cup.
Item.
You put the
Would
cup.
you like to report this?
Who do I report this to?
Me.
I would love to report this.
Okay. Stolen chalice. Mm-hmm. Where did you get this chalice?
I got it from my family.
Roll a deception check.
15.
15. And he goes, "I don't believe you, but that's okay. Why would you report a stolen chalice in the merfolk security
Oh, why?
against a merfolk?"
See, we're new in town.
I know.
Right. We came in because we heard of all of your fabulous pouting and posing and wanted to see it for ourselves. And so I came in and someone swam up to me and was like, "Give me your cup, see?" Or
Got it.
"Give me your cup. I'm gonna."
Can you point out this person?
Yeah, they're holding a cup. And Busy like looks around to see if she can see. Does Busy see the mer that
Go
took
ahead
it?
and roll a perception check.
It did happen very fast. Hey, that's a 17.
A 17. You see different people swimming in and out through the main entrance of this. They could have gone out through there, but you no longer see this creature.
I don't see the person that took it, but
Can you draw this chalice? I am very interested. We are all very interested in chalices at the moment.
at the moment, why are you interested? I'll draw a chalice, and while I do that, you can tell me the wonderful story about how chalices got cool here all of a sudden.
No, I don't do any talking. You answer the questions.
Damn.
Any identification?
Yes, and I produce my membership card for Fiends United.
Ah, yes. So you are here for the summit.
Yes, of course.
Well, the side of Aurelia has almost already begun. You are late. We did make a note that it did take you very long to get out of the puzzle room.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe you should come up with puzzles that maybe don't have more than one solution next time.
Maybe you should know more about the Sundari, your makers.
I'm more of like a word, like a crossword guy,
Yeah.
like a word search.
We love wordplay.
What is this?
This is our goblin automaton.
I am a goblin automaton.
He's our best friend.
I just have to tell you, I'm so sick of the Fiends United. The absolute disgusting things that you create are defouling our entire underwater.
It's like blasting goo on the Sundari's creation.
We suck.
Well, as long as you know your place. But there's nothing I can do against this side of Aurelio. Does this guy have a identification?
Yes, we both have identification, and Busy casts Silent Image for 2 cards in each hand. And she just like holds them up.
What is the name on his?
The name on his is Pippi. Parentheses, a totally normal goblin robot.
Okay.
And then it has like his stats.
Perfect. You are late. You are not in the appropriate attire. That is not my concern, but you may pass through. 1 second. I need to look through your items.
Great.
What items?
Do you still have your big fat?
large pack of
Do you have a big bag?
That's just
All
power
right.
core.
Yes,
So
I do.
he
Yes, I
takes
do.
it out, dumps it.
No, those are my things.
All right, Tippy.
Please stop.
What do you got?
Oh god.
I have my
Locket, which I think I'm wearing, but like, yeah, all my stuff.
Okay, the thing he takes of note is your Unzuk spike, and he says, "Oh, interesting.
That is my spike.
Unzug-
That belonged to my robot grandma.
Unzug ink.
Yes, when...
Your relationship to Unzuk now.
Oh, I don't know. I am just a robot.
Let me see your thing.
Busy like takes off her pack. So Fiends United, we went in after Unzug's lair had already been taken over. So we are taking over Unzug's lair now. And in doing so, we got to have a couple of
Okay.
interesting things like this cool spike.
Deception with advantage.
Okay, so with advantage, that is 16 plus 21.
And he goes, yes, I've heard of you taking over different overlords. He goes through yours and says, another Unzug spike.
Yeah, they just kind of gave him out. It was like a congratulatory gift, like, oh, here's your spike, and here's your
We'll
spike.
be keeping these.
Why?
No, these
Can I
are
have
ours
that back,
now.
please?
They're commemorative.
No.
So rude. That was my stuff.
I'm going
This is
to
why
take
people don't
these.
like cops, you know that?
Well, what are you going to even do about it?
Nothing, because I don't have a spike.
What you got?
I've just got this little, well, you probably wouldn't like it. It is fish food, but you wouldn't like it. And I'm holding up one of the beads of force. You wouldn't like
Let's
this
see.
stuff.
Can I see it?
I really don't think you'd like
I would
this.
like to see it.
Okay, just be careful with it.
That is highly magical item.
Yeah, it perpetually creates fish food.
Okay, deception check.
Please don't take our fish food maker.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
What is it?
That's an 8.
Oh,
8.
no.
And he says, that is meant to do me harm.
That's why I'm saying don't take it.
I am doing my job.
You are right. I'm sorry. What was your name again?
I didn't tell you my name.
Why are you being cagey?
We're gonna call you B because you're being cagey.
Whatever lines you're drawing, I'm not following, but fine.
KGB.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's...
Busy takes out her pen and like, clicks it.
Man.
We gotta start keeping a broken
man.
Amy count.
Oh my God. Okay, inspiration, Dan.
Oh, finally.
I know, someone gets inspiration. I never remember inspiration, but dang. Okay. All right, you call me B. I think you're good to go. I don't want your crazy magic item.
I will keep it safely holstered and stowed away at all
But
times.
I do want this drawing of your chalice.
Great. So Busy hands over the drawing of a chalice, and it looks like what would be the Sundari version of those collectible cups you get at medieval times. Those collectible cups you get at places where you might watch someone joust, in case we can't use the name.
Of course.
So he takes it and says, all right, I'm just going to keep this then. We will be taking your ID cards.
As this fish guard is being cagey and rude and preoccupied with my friends, I want to communicate to Robo-Tippy. I start going, get the spike back. and Robo-Tippy wants to stealthily take the spike from the fish.
Okay, so that'll be a sleight of hand.
Okay.
And it'll be versus my perception but I'll be at disadvantage since I'm so distracted by magical chalices. So actually, I got a 7.
I got a nat 20.
Let's go.
Okay.
Robo-Tippy.
So he has set the spikes kind of to the side in a bucket. Robo-Tippy just kind of claws his way up into the bucket, takes one out. And did you want both of them or just one?
Both of them.
With that, you're able to take both of them out.
Well, I've already got the image up of the IDs, and so I just make it look like they're like melting under the water because they're oh God, I forgot to laminate these, and they just start like crumbling in my hands. You saw them though, they were right here.
I've had enough. I'm going to get the merfolk security to
escort us?
To escort you to the Abyssium.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Busy just does like a deep bow.
Thank you.
I think he bought it.
He turns and is waving the next person in, and you are escorted. You have now 2 merfolk, one with a lance, one with a trident, swimming right by you. They grab one of your arms, Busy, and one of your arms, Fibs.
Thank you.
And you are swimming outside of the atrium along with where everyone else is going, some escorted. You notice that the 2 people with the crimson robes, they are actually not being escorted, and you are brought out into this magnificent underwater city.
Wow.
And
look at this place.
As you're swimming out, looking up and all around, you see that the water is very bright and very colorful, and currents and little shoals of fish are swimming in front of you, lots of different colors. Towering spires of different colored coral reach out from the sea floor. Those things that are not made of shells and coral are actually reminiscent of dwarven stonework, and it is reminiscent of a city on a cliffside. Lots of buildings and apartments stacked on top of each other with carved out holes for windows. It's man-made, it's beautiful. The themes of the tapestry and the friezes that you saw in the room are everywhere. I guess most notably in the distance is the stone and coral castle that seems to be about half a mile away. And you are going in that direction, but they seem to be leading you towards an enormous dome made of stone, and that veers off a little bit to the left, still on the way to this big castle.
Hey, what is this place?
Well, this is the Erndker Fathom.
What's your name?
I am Naida, and this is Norka, and it seems that we are escorting you to the Abyssium.
Voice modulation in progress. Hey, figured I'd change my voice so I sound less like a robot. So, like, who made this place? Like, what's the history here? Like, we want to know, you know?
What's the vibe?
What's the vibe?
It's our first time visiting.
Yeah, we're big fans.
First of all, you are talking way too much.
Oh, okay, you don't like talking. Well, that's good to know. But, yeah, can you tell us about the vibe and we'll maybe talk a little less?
The vibe is that the Scythe of Aurelia holds all the power here.
Okay.
You answer to the Scythe,
Okay.
just like I do.
Yep.
And Luxier.
Yeah, okay.
So does the Scythe like talk, or like how are we answering to the Scythe? Like, is this a meeting to like find out what the Scythe wants? Or...
I thought you were invited to the summit.
We were.
The invitation
but...
was light on details.
Yeah, it was mostly just like, hey man, cool summit alert.
Do you know what the Scythe is?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but do you know? Because I've heard people explain it weird. Well, how would you explain it?
It is a death cult.
Yeah.
Death cult. Yeah, love that.
No, they were involved in some pretty major stuff
Yeah.
back in the day.
Right. The Erndker Fathom is newly under their control as of the last decade.
Is this a thing you like?
Love or hate?
Our leader, Shu,
Phew.
has gotten into league with the Scythe for, I don't know, power, control, planes jumping.
And how would you rate, click, how would you rate Shu's current performance?
We've all turned against each other. Everyone's watching everyone else, making sure that they are behaving correctly.
And what would correct behavior look like?
Silent, obedient, eyes down, worshipping the Scythe.
You don't sound very happy about that.
It is not my place to be happy or unhappy.
Is that why everyone here looks so miserable and hot?
People do look hot.
What's that second part?
Miserable and hot?
Like, we all think you're really hot, by the way.
Yeah, like all of y'all are so hot, but
Yeah.
you look so miserable.
In that moment, you see a trident fly through Naida's sternum, and her eyes go glassy, and the trident's pulled out and thrown right at Norka, who dodges it, but quickly comes into contact with a club of coral, and he goes glassy too. And you were face to face with the sea spawn from earlier, who took your chalice. And she's got a short pixie cut that's blue. Her face seems pale blue. She's covered in barnacles. Out of her elbow actually grows 2 tentacles with barbs on the end of them, and everywhere else around her is covered in barnacles and barbs. And she goes,
You can't go to the Abyssium. Come with me.
You straight up did a fish murder.
Why did
We
you
have
do
to
that?
go. We have to go.
Well, why did you kill them?
I'll tell you in a bit. Are you with me?
I guess we don't got a choice. We gotta.
Let's go, but you're not gonna fish murder us, right?
No,
And I want my cup back.
We do want the cup back.
absolutely. Yeah, you got it.
Let's follow the cool seed spod thingy.
and she swims. Anytime she's swimming, she goes behind, she looks behind herself. She goes to the next opening or another coral reef really quickly. You're welcome to follow her, but she's kind of tracking everything around her. There are beings swimming. No one's really taking note of her at the moment. You're swimming away from the Abyssium at this point, and you do see more and more people in those robes swimming towards the Abyssium. The crimson robes.
crimson robes.
The crimson robes with the latticed mask. So she takes you to what seems like a more of a mercantile part of town. There still aren't very many people out, but she swims in between different structures, and there is a current that sucks you very strongly into a cave, a natural cave entrance. Before you go in, you realize that this cave is actually it's hard to tell if it's natural or man-made.
Man-made.
Merman-made. It is of stone, but it seems to, if it were a place on land, it would have 3 stories, and bubbles are releasing from the top of this. It's almost cone-shaped and comes to a point at the tip. When you're sucked in, what you see is like, what?
No, I'm just busy needs things to stop sucking her in. Sorry. Like this whole time we're just like, ugh.
Yeah, it's kind of controlling you. Before you entered it, you saw that the sign on the outside said that the Tide Keeper's Terminal. And when you are inside, there's a big display room that has little glass bubbles floating and moving around each other, and inside the glass bubbles are different specimens of plants, baby creatures inside, little baby aquariums, that kind of thing, artifacts even, and it seems to be this floating museum in this room. But your friend or your guide does not stop there. She takes you to the back room where this looks more like a geologist scientist studio, a workshop. Lots of different workstations with tools and more of the specimens, but stacked against a wall in categories. She doesn't stop there either. You can tell that there's a way up to the floors, but she takes you to this corner behind one of the shelves and dives even deeper and takes you to this tunnel that you swim underneath for a while, and it turns into an underwater cove that is all natural. Grasses, little natural fish. It is a lot darker as well. And she relaxes and goes, okay, I think we're safe here.
Can we go back to that aquarium for babies you mentioned?
We like that.
Little baby aquarium.
Oh, you want to go and see the tidekeepers? The real tidekeepers?
Yeah, if there's time.
If there's
I know
time,
there's, it seems like
it's
there's
really impressive. I mean,
seems like there's a cult in town, so we can do it maybe on the way out.
yeah, I mean,
I would love to do some sightseeing while we're here. I've never
So
been
first
underwater
time.
before.
Gagangan has a really great spread.
Wait, did you say Gagangan?
Yes.
Gagangan. Where did we hear that name before? Didn't he make something that was very important to you?
Oh, he made a lot of things.
Gagangan is the person who Kaya paid to turn her from a skeleton into a humanoid with skin.
Do you know him? Are you guys cool like that?
I do. Yes, we're cool, but look, Gagangan is both part of our organization and he does services for Shu and the monarchy. I'm detecting an accent. Are you from Kalea?
I don't know if I'm from Kalea. I just kind of woke up one day talking like this.
I think
Yeah.
you're from Kalea.
Kalea. And how would you spell that if you had to write it down in some kind of a notebook?
I would say it's C apostrophe
Oh, I already
L-E-R.
screwed up. I started with a K.
I started with a K as
No,
well.
no, it's a C. It's
C.
a common mistake. C apostrophe L-E-R.
L-E-R?
Oh, it's so Kalea to me
Kalea.
now. I get it.
Kalia.
Yeah.
You're saying I have like a Kaleri brogue?
Don't I have a Kaleri brogue?
I don't know.
I do.
Okay.
Are you? Oh, you kind of sound a little similar.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah. Well, anyway.
Was I a sea spawn?
And I
No.
look at my bones and I'm like,
No, you're from Kalea, which is not under the ocean at
Where
all.
Is it
Yeah.
landlocked?
Yeah, it's not landlocked, but it's on land.
And you're from Calais, but
Yeah, I was.
I'm sorry to point this out, but you're full of barnacles and squid thingies.
I did adventure a little too hard.
Oh, yeah. I've
Was that
heard
the
you-
cause of this tentacular transformation?
Yeah, I mean, you stay down here in the Erndker Fathom long enough, you're gonna transform. And now I can't even be on land for more than an hour without having serious
How
side
long
effects.
have you been down here?
Hundreds of years.
Oh.
Wow. You know
Okay.
what? I wouldn't have pegged you for like a
Yeah.
day over 100.
No,
Yeah,
everyone
you look
says
great
that, but
for your age.
there's a lot of us. And it's the magic here.
So, just a quick question. In your 100 years here, did you perchance see maybe a human woman who looks really mean, potentially holding a beautiful little goblin lady hostage named Pecora?
The woman he's asking about is named Kaya.
Are you here for Kaya?
Well, how do you feel about Kaya?
Kaya is part of the Scythe of Aurelia.
And we hate that.
Kaya has taken one of our friends.
Yeah, kind of
hostage.
sucks.
I want to take Kaya and I want to stuff her into the cannon I just built and shoot her against a brick wall until she either goes through it and dies or explodes and dies.
I think the Scythe of Aurelia is one step ahead of you.
Wait, she's gonna.
Is she going to be sacrificed?
Yeah.
Is that what you're
Because I would
intimating?
love to watch that.
My sources tell me she was coming here for a progress report type thing. The whole Scythe of Aurelia, the summit, drives me, it's awful. They're horrible, horrible people, and they do not care about the nature not only of Sundaros, but this entire plane. I don't even think they know the ramifications of what they're trying to do. But Erndker Fathom has become their home, away from home, I think because of all the magic and the access that we have to all these portals and different planes. My sources tell me that Kaya, when she was supposed to be getting promoted and accolades from Luxier, well, that just didn't happen, and instead he's changed his mind for various reasons of failure from Kaya. Kaya has failed him, and there's going to be a ceremony where she's sacrificed, and I think that's happening sometime today.
Is she the only one getting sacrificed, or were there others?
What happened to the
I
goblin?
didn't see any of this. I'm not part of the Scythe of Aurelia. I just have sources. The goblin. She's part of the Fiends United. There's all kinds of creatures.
You can't miss her. She's beautiful.
We'll get back to Pecora in 1 second. We have a couple other questions that we should get out of the way first. Firstly, what is your name and what is your organization?
Yeah,
I think
okay.
we've been a little remiss in some details.
We'll introduce ourselves. I'm Thresh.
Thresh.
And me and Gaganyan are part of the obligation. We are specifically trying to stop all of these factions from merging together the 5 articles of the Champions of the Sundari.
Oh, what happens if they get merged together?
By the way, here's your article.
Thank you.
Thank you for not stealing it.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I don't want it. Are you kidding? Have the Scythe of Aurelia on my backs?
Oh, yeah. I guess we didn't really.
Well, why help us? You don't know anything about us. You just saw us and decided that you needed to help us. You murdered even for us.
I knew you had the chalice, and I saw your 8-pointed star on your robes that nodded to the Sundari Ariadne, and I knew I could trust you. All the Sundari paraphernalia is completely banned, and I figured there's no way you knew that, so on some level you were attached to them. We tried to keep up a semblance of continuing to worship them. But ever since the Scythe of Aurelia came in, we haven't been able to do any of that, and I figured you were some version of a stand for them. Look, we'll just take the help where we can get it.
Yeah, no, we're not associated with them. We're here to rescue our friend.
You gotta help us, Miss
then-
Thresh.
Then you gotta help me. The Scythe of Aurelia is trying to bring back Fraxis. But in our lore, it says that the Sundari, 5 of the 6 of them, merged together to form one being that fought Fraxis.
Why 6, but only 5?
Why 6, but only
The other
5?
name that she mentioned before was Luxia.
Luxia is the leader of the Scythe of Aurelia. So they're trying to merge these artifacts together to bring back Fraxis. But our lore says that when he brings back Fraxis, something happened during the searing where Fraxis and the Sundari all merged as one. All of them. They called him Anoyawan.
Annoy one?
Annoying one?
No, shoot.
What's it? What'd you say?
Oh, I said Anoyawan.
I owe you one.
What have I done?
I was like, could you spell that one?
Anoyawan.
So
Okay.
Anoya one, and so what do they do with this Anoya one? Is this like the captain of like this planet, or
It
like?
became the Sunda that fought Fraxis.
Oh my God!
Everyone knows the searing happened when they battled each other and everyone died, I guess, or whatever. But our lore says in battling Fraxis, Fraxis and Anoyawan became one, and then they disappeared.
So there was the merging, but then there was a second merging.
A second merging.
And perhaps that the force of them coming together resulted in the sort of magical explosion that became the searing.
Yes, and so you've got the Crater of Sorrow with all the big bones.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the bodies, the corporeal forms of these Sundar are gone. They're still, I mean, they're here, they're dead, the bones are there, but their souls, their essence, they're on another plane maybe or something, but I think there are factions trying to get the 5 artifacts to bring back the Sundari, and the Scythe of Aurelia is trying to bring back Fraxis. However, I think our lore says that no matter who brings back what, they're gonna bring back everyone.
So everyone comes back,
Gotcha.
But not
de-merge.
even in their bodies, like they're just their essence, which we don't know what would happen then. With gods without form, without limitations, on our material plane could be the end of the entire.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. Gods, demons, lords, and cults, they don't care about us, about goblins, about skeletons, the people who are just working. Everybody just wants to do their big old merge or unmerge. I don't care. I want to save Pecora.
I don't know who that is.
It's the most beautiful goblin I've ever seen, and you cannot literally miss her. I mean, how many? I haven't seen a goblin here
How
at all.
beautiful is she?
She's the most beautiful thing I've ever
Roll a
seen.
wisdom saving throw.
That's gonna be 13.
Okay, a 13. Go ahead.
She's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Her skin, unriddled by acne. Soft, smart, goggles well made, hands well calloused from crafting and making things supple as well. I feel like if we were to maybe kiss, maybe make out, smooch for a long time, it'd be great.
I can tell you're in love.
I'm not in love. I don't know what love is.
I do. And you're in love.
Well, whatever. I don't need that lame love stuff. I just want Pecora to be safe.
Is there, and this pains me to say, if Kaya gets sacrificed, that means we're even close to the breaking up of this merger monopoly thing. So
No.
So it's okay if she dies?
I mean, essentially,
It has to be okay.
it seems like everyone is redundant except for Luxir and his perpetual quest to bring back Fraxis.
Okay, so if she dies, that doesn't mean that Fraxis comes back sooner since she's being sacrificed. This is just like a fun and game sacrifice.
It sounds like more like
It's-
a punishment.
I think she's being made as an example of other people's failures.
Cool. So she can die.
Well, we
Okay.
could probably leverage, hey, we'll save you, and you can help fight our way out if need be. Kaya, not my favorite, but she is powerful.
But if she hurt Pecora, she has to die.
I'm not just helping you to help you.
What do you want from us? You never really articulated that.
I mean, we're just a scrappy organization, even
Yeah.
with Gagangan's ties to Shu and the monarchy. Like, we're doing the best we can, but there's one being that's acting completely on his own accord. He's just an opportunist at heart. We don't know if he's got the world at large in his brain, but he does have an idea that is separate that could trump the scythe of Aurelia. And we think it's pretty random that he's got it, but also he seems to be acting on a whole other level, and it is Unzug.
You said what?
Unzug.
He's here?
The elf necromancer
Yes.
from the desolation, Unzug.
He's here.
He has been here, but he's not here now.
Where is he?
Where'd he go?
I don't know all of that, but I did see your robes, I clocked the chalice, and then I did overhear the checkpoint officer found some Unzug spikes on you,
Yeah, he tried to take him.
and so
Took
I
'em
got
right
your
back, baby.
what?
I took those spikes back.
Can I see them?
Yeah. Here you go.
They're real. These are authentic.
Yeah.
Busy takes out the bed sheet and is like, it still smells.
She has the bed sheet.
Oh, do you have a connection to Unzug?
Yeah, I'm like Unzug's top guy's top guy.
Deception.
And if he, well, this is self-deception. We want to be clear. Yeah, she lying to
Roll
She
the
lied
lie
to
to yourself.
she's manifesting. 15.
A 15. Okay, I mean, yeah, you believe it. So he's clocking the side eyes that you're giving. Like, oh, maybe. Okay. So the short answer, yes, right? Your connection to Unzug.
Yes. Well, we are so connected. But yeah, so here's, I don't know if this helps with whatever kind of Unzug.
I don't need his bed sheets.
Look at it.
I know.
Did you
Got his
smell it?
logo on it.
It's
Do you smell it?
Smell it.
Try to smell it.
It's probably pretty wet right now.
So, yeah, the way smell works under the water, there's just got to be a lot of protein in the smell for me to actually get a whiff.
How much protein do we think is in Unzug's bed sheet?
I'm gonna roll for protein.
Excuse me?
I'm gonna roll for investigate. History.
I cast
That's a
dark
history
light.
check.
Busy, quick. How much protein's in the sheet?
Okay, so I rolled for history. That is a 13.
There's gotta be so
All
much
these
protein.
plankton keep trying to bite at it.
Fresh needs to smell the sheet. You have to find the protein. It's gonna be chock full of protein in the sheet.
Sweat,
How many loads of protein in the sheet?
flakes, oh no! This isn't
It's
what
gotta
I
be
meant.
loaded with
This isn't
protein.
what I meant when I said tone shift.
Absolutely filled up with protein in the sheet.
We also have Unzug's sock, if that helps.
And we have Unzug's teddy bear, too.
I couldn't be less
It's got a weird rip in it.
No.
Thresh, are you okay?
It's just so beautiful that you have a connection to this guy that we've been trying to follow for so long.
Busy just like takes Thresh's hand in her bone hand. I think it's beautiful too.
The bed sheets are fine. I cannot smell them for so many reasons.
Well, you should live with that because
you probably have like a cold or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
A little goo in the nose.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, very clearly you're connected to Unzug. What do you know about his actions up on the
he's
surface?
the darkest lord.
Powerful.
Powerful.
Everyone jump out at him.
No, like specifically like what he's doing right now.
Oh, well.
Spreading fear.
No.
Fled the dungeon that we called home, the only life we ever knew, because he had advanced knowledge that we were going to be attacked.
And he's probably out somewhere figuring out how to get the lair back. But we just know that he's like gone, and he packed his own bag.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. He just happened to leave when all the Gallantlings came and killed everybody we knew, including my best friend Maxwell.
Yes.
And I think he left with the circlet,
Yeah, he took everything important,
which I
left
believe
us
is.
to die.
The side of it really has a circlet because the Yesterdusters gave
Are those folks here? The Yesterdusters
the
here?
Yesterdusters are here.
Right now,
They're here.
I think they should be in the summit in the Abyssium.
are they also followers of the Scythe?
Yes.
I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them so much. I hate them so much.
They've been more effective than Kaya in securing things. They brought the Scythe of Aurelia the circlet, and they brought the Scythe of Aurelia the ring.
I don't understand. Why the facade? Why do the Yesterdusters, why are they at odds with the Fiends United? Because
They're not.
they're in line?
Yeah, it's a whole shell thing going on. The Scythe of Aurelia created Fiends United. The Fiends
Mergers.
United hired the Yesterdusters. It's all the same thing. They're all the same
So
thing.
they're not only Gallantlings, they're like evil-lings. Like,
And what is this word, Gallantlings?
You know, disgusting, vile do-gooder who comes in and murders innocent oozes for no reason.
yeah, who are just like hanging out,
Yeah,
like doing their own ooze thing, and then these dudes come in.
Adventurers.
A group of air-dwells.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like I used to be one of those.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm from Calais. That was full of all of those people. We would just go out and loot through.
And if you were to come
old,
across an ooze,
ancient-
what would you do?
An ooze?
Yeah, an ooze with a monocle and a top hat and said maybe a couple questionable things from time to time.
Dead in a second.
What?
He's from a different time.
Yeah, don't blame him for it. It was never taught.
What are you talking about? The
He
thing-
says things that he doesn't mean. That's what I mean.
No, I'm just saying, oozes don't even talk. They're just out to.
Well, this ooze did, and
Why
sometimes
are we
he would
fighting
say
about this?
things that just made the hairs on the back of your neck stand.
He's upset about Picora. Look, we've been talking for quite some time.
I know.
You mentioned we need help, but you mentioned that you need help. What is it that you need us to do?
So, Kaya brought with her a source who she gave up to the Scythe of Aurelia as a present. And that source is Unzug's second-hand man,
Crandall?
Crandall Greckleworth.
Crandall P. Greckleworth.
Oh.
P stands for piece of shit.
Oh.
And if you don't know what a piece of shit is, it's poop.
Crandall Poop Greckleworth.
Exactly.
Well, that's who she sent to Luxir as a present. I don't know if he's given up any information yet. Anyway, I need your help to get Crandall.
Do you know where he's being held? At the Abyssium?
He's being treated a bit like a pet.
A pet.
Have they ever seen pets before?
Yeah,
Pets are cute.
I would. Crandall is not pet material.
Yeah, P doesn't stand for pet. Remember, it stands for poop.
So we've already been told that we don't look the part for getting into the Abyssium. Do you folks have access to some of those crimson robes and the silvery lattice masks? Because
I could get you in as that. I could also get you in as more of like me, like sea spawny.
Another
the
heist.
heist of the millennium, stealing Crandall
Stealing Crandall.
under the sea and under their noses.
Well, Thresh, We're gonna need a couple barrels of slog swash.
I don't think what. I don't know what that is.
Well, we're doing a heist.
No, what? No,
We're doing a heist.
Yeah, we can detonate the Abyssinium.
Of course.
Wait, does firework underwater?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So, which would you prefer to go in under?
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should
figures?
do a mix.
Yeah, you know what's
Yeah.
traditionally
I'll go-
worked really well for us is splitting the
the
party.
Party up. Let's split the party up, baby. I think I could go as one of y'all. I'll go with someone from Claire. Just go in with like a little snack tray and like cigars, cigarettes.
So just so you know, not everyone has to be from Claire. Like it's just if you're from the surface and you stay down here too long, you turn into something like this.
But I think she's got to
But
be
I think she's
Yeah.
pulling off Claire.
I think she
pretty
sounds
well.
really good.
Hey,
I'm walking clear.
Is that what they say?
it sounds. I think it would be something that we said if we walked.
Yeah.
But we swim. But that's great. You're doing great. Okay, well, I'll set you up, and then the rest of you.
We'll
other
go
two?
in as Roby McGee's.
I think I would be better suited as a cultist.
And speaking of suit, do I have to stay in this thing, or do you have a way for me to just exist down here and under the
I've got a
sea?
vial of this goo that
Is
we
the
can
goo
smear.
good enough, or do I need
Yeah,
this?
the goo's fine. I mean, I used the goo for.
Use the goo?
You use the goo?
I used it. I don't need it anymore.
Fibs,
but for a long
blast
time I did.
me.
All right.
You gotta take the suit off.
I shake up I shake up the vial.
I'm like, take off the suit, and I'm ready to get blasted with goo.
And Loof, you see 8 legs just splayed out.
Blast her too!
I try to blast both of them with some
Okay.
goo.
Okay,
Yeah.
you easily can blast or blast them with goo.
It doesn't really blast, so I
was
have to
getting
just like take a bony finger and kind of smear it on them.
Very
This
cool.
is great because I was getting sweaty in that.
So
thing.
yeah, you do have a mask
Okay.
of grayish green liquid that's just sticking to you. So does Loof. You can tell that you can speak and breathe as usual.
I take my diving suit and I roll it up and I re-put my packs back on.
Okay.
And I stuff it
You have a
into the bag.
second diving pack in there. Yeah, you are able to breathe now, talk now. You guys are outfitted with Scythe of Aurelia, silver lattice mask, crimson hooded robes, and Thresh swims you out to above the Abyssinium. And above the Abyssinium is a bunch of iron bubbles with spikes on the edges of them, chained up to the sea floor. And it seems as though they could float up if they weren't chained to the sea floor. And there are hundreds of them. Thresh tells you that this is their prison and there's a person in each of those. She takes you to the outskirts of one of these balls, pretty high up, and you see as 10 merfolk security and 10 robed figures come and get Kaya, open up her cage, and take her down. And as they take her down towards the Abyssinium, the dome of the Abyssinium splits open to form one slit where you can see down into what's happening. And you see that there are upwards of 1,000 robed beings lining the walls as an audience. At the bottom center of the dome is a sand dune that culminates in a pillar table looking stage with a ritual table on top of it. On the far side, up against the dome wall, shoots out a platform where a massive being in the robes and the latticed mask is swimming with some other followers. And next to him are 2 beings that you recognize. And one is Pakara with the goo on her mouth, and one is Crandall with the goo on his mouth. They are chained up. They actually do not have any facial coverings. They are in shell and coral bikinis.
Both of them?
Both of them?
Both are?
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna need to make you roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. All right, I rolled a 19.
Crandall looking like a snack.
Snack.
I rolled a
19?
19, yeah.
Okay, great. Nothing happens.
I don't get a nosebleed?
You have emotions,
Yeah.
but you don't get a nosebleed. no.
Oh, whoa.
And-
Bakura looks different.
And as you look down into the Abyssinium and are experiencing just a wealth of new emotions, that is where we will end this episode of Sagas of Sundry Goblin Mode. Join us next time as our terror squad performs a potential rescue. To cut something out. Am I being
No, you were just describing that they have not been blasted with catfish.
So you were saying they haven't been blasted with catfish goo. But yes. What else? Yes. Continue. So they're uncovered in goo because they haven't been blasted yet by goo.
Yet to be blasted.
Yet to be
Right.
good. Yep.
Got it.
What else have they not been blasted with?
so many
Goo blast. Okay.